And it acts as a compass to move in the right direction.
Very nice.
A synthetic feedback versus a collection of feedbacks. Now, collection of feedbacks is quite integral because it gives you a pattern. One feedback might be, I rate this or might say something negative about you, but not necessarily that might be like character. So, a collection of feedbacks put through a statistical tool will determine the way of the direction.
Very nice.
Feedback shows that if the customer is going to come back, or is he going to, tell other that.
But listen guys, I want feedback more in the trainer's perspective. Okay? Like now onwards, keep that mindset. I want it more to the trainer's perspective. Okay? Yes, to the next one.
So from the trainer's perspective, the feedback is the experience of the other person from whom we are taking the feedback.
Just quickly tell me, like just one person from the table, can you just quickly conclude what comes to your mind?
One of the key things that we are looking at is the means of testing, evaluation, introspect, mid-course corrections.
Good.
That's a major result.
Yeah. Next.
So the feedback is what others think about me vis-a-vis what I think about myself and what is the correction to be done.
Okay. Yes. Just to the next one. So you want on this?
It is all about a transform, and I teach in the training session whether the things what I taught, people who listen, are they listening correctly? In the feedback, it will reflect.
Yeah, we just.
So we have this point. Feedback is something that's associated with constructive, positive, improvement. There can be scope for correction, growth, self-development. You get this whether you're going in the right direction. It's honest, it's critique, it's a new perspective, and new learning. It's motivating and there's satisfaction.
Very nice. Yeah. Picked up. When we hear the word feedback, we think of the other's response, then information, evaluation, learning is helpful, growth, we grow because of feedback, then mistakes can be corrected, encouragement, important and necessary to us, and it also brings awareness of our weakness. Yes, right? Okay, the next stage. Whereas feedback is more of a perception, it's the voice of a customer. I think it's with the right kind, if you really want to understand where exactly you are and where you are, it's very important to understand what is the feedback you're getting and identify training needs based on the feedback that you have actually received. So it helps your organization go to where you need to get from. Very nice. See, everything that's been said about feedback is nice. But, we say feedback and training are very closely connected. It's like that hutch puppy. Wherever you're taking feedback will follow you. And if you want it or if you don't want it, you will still have feedback. Now it is very good when you're at a certain place and people are looking up to your class, liking your class, appreciating your class, looking up to you for knowledge, and you feel really good that my class, I've been recommended to other trainings as well, and it's a very nice place to be. But at the same time, when you're on the other side and you don't have positive feedback, you have constructive feedback. Trust me, it is not easy to take. As a sentence, we like it a lot. Give constructive feedback. standing, you're just this body and the name. Right? They're seeing you for the first time. You're just this body and the name you say. When instantly you will feel they are all just evaluating you. And it takes a very long time to form a connect. Before that, it's just evaluation that is happening. Oh, how much will you know? Let me see. That kind of an attitude. There's so much more. We keep saying at Z, IIT, be open to feedback, be open to receiving feedback. But trust me, when it comes to receiving feedback, even the most seasoned trainers get defensive. Even they kind of respond back to you. For example, see, you will have 10 minutes presentations very soon. Okay, all of you will be open to feedback from all of the class. Now there is some 60-year-old person standing here and there is some 30-year-old guy on the back bench telling him that this was not right. And in that moment, that 60-year-old fellow feels, you were not even born since the time I'm taking your experience. Who are you to tell me I'm wrong? Who are you to give me feedback? Right? It's instant. Each of you are authorities in your life. You're somebody in your life right now. Somebody coming and questioning that authority. It's not easy to receive it. Instantly, you know what will happen. Oh, you know why I did that? I was just told 2 days ago to do the presentation. Oh, you know what happened? I had such a bad headache and I just had 2 hours. I couldn't sleep in the night. So I just did this much. Then, oh, you know why I did that? You should know why I did that. This one was there, this one I couldn't do. I had so many trainings to do and I had to do this suddenly. Instantly people get defensive. Instead of accepting the feedback, what are we doing? We are just pushing it away. It is so natural to do that. See, we always, sometimes we connect to our cars. People have fancy cars. We connect to our universities and I got education from this university. We connect to the location we stay in or the house we stay in. And we have this, I live in a 4 BHK or in a bungalow or whatever. We connect ourselves for our status quo, right? As a human being. Imagine you are the product. And if people are not accepting you and giving you critical feedback, it is so difficult to digest. Extremely difficult. Trust me, when you will be here and you receive critical feedback, you will understand not easy to take, not easy to internalize. This session of today, this specific section is designed for us to have a mindset. A lot of state of mind preparation goes before we become trained. This session is designed so that we work out a path to accept even constructive feedback. This is designed specifically so that tomorrow when we are out in the market, whatever happens, we should know to accept. It's an art. It's a different art to accept even constructive feedback. It takes a lot of maturity and a lot of character to do that. Yes? So today we will start with the first model being NVC. NVC, the full form is non-violent communication. Non-violent communication. Okay, very famous model being worked around right now. And okay, quickly tell me, when you hear the word non-violence, who comes to your mind? saying? Why does he keep insisting on non-violence? Let's just understand what is the meaning of non-violence. Now they were researching all of this. Now we know that Gandhiji was married to Kasturba and they had 4 sons. And the second son was Manilal Gandhi, yes, who was residing in Africa even after Gandhiji was here at Chhatrapati Ashram. Now Manilal Gandhi had a son named Arun Gandhi, again a famous personality. Now what happened is, Arun Gandhi had a very troubled childhood in Africa. Africa was deeply in racism that time, very heavily affected by racism. Now this Arun Gandhi, he would go to a school, so there were these whites, they would think he is not one amongst us. So they would kind of bully him, throw him away from the group and kind of fight with him and just leave him apart. And don't come to us, you are not one amongst us. So he would go to the Afro-Americans. Afro-Americans feel that he is not like us, he is white skinned. So you don't come to us, they would all the more bully him, trouble him, hit him, do all of those things. At the end, he was left with no group. See, as a child, we all remember school days, right? We always want to be belonging to some group, like this is my group, this is my group. This is Arun Gandhi. Everywhere he went, both the parties would just like fight with him. They would have like huge fights and they would just like leave him. So he became very aggressive as a child. So even in his sleep, one day he was sleeping and Manilal Gandhi just passed by the room and in his deep sleep he said, I'll kick you, I will kill you in your this and that. So Manilal Gandhi got the shock of his life. He is thinking his grandfather there is talking about non-violence and this guy here is talking about kicking and killing people. What do I do with this chap? What he does is writes a letter to Gandhiji. Let's see, Arun is behaving like this. I don't know what to do with him. Please tell me something. Gandhiji tells him, send Arun to India. Arun to India. Send him to India. I will take care of him. So this Manilal Gandhi is extremely tense at how he should communicate this to Arun Gandhi. Because we are changing his house, we are changing his country. He might not be very happy with it, that he's going away from his parents. But on the contrary, when he got to know about it, when Arun Gandhi was told that you are going to India, he was the most happiest child. Why? Because finally he will have some place where he belongs. So he came to India, he entered Chhatrapati and he says, my dad told me you are going to teach me about non-violence. I'm here, teach me. Gandhiji says, okay, just landed, have your breakfast. 10:30 sharp, meet me in that room. He's like, okay, fine, I'll meet you 10:30. So they both meet 10:30 in the room. Now what Gandhiji says is, there's 2 ways to learn anything. Either you know the right thing, or you know all the wrong things. Okay? So instead of studying violence, let's study what is non-violence. Okay, then you already know what is the remaining is violence. He said, sounds a good deal to me. So, he said, instead of studying non-violence, let's study violence. So whatever is remaining is non-violence. He's like, okay, sounds a good deal to me. He's like, okay, from now onwards, we'll do it as a 1-month project. Like, okay. Each time you see a person, when you go outside, you see a person physically bashing another person or physically hurting, kicking, whatever, if you see that, you are going to come and write on this side of the wall. Okay? So fine. And each time you see a person verbally hurting another one, by gestures, by looks, whatever, but by verbally hurting another person, you will come and write on this side of the wall. Okay? says fine. He goes out every single day. In 1 week, this wall gets full. And there's hardly 3 or 4 on that wall. So he asked Gandhiji, can I write on this wall? He says, okay. After 2 weeks, this wall also gets full. And there it's 10. After the 3rd week, this wall also gets full. And there are hardly 12 there. So he asked Gandhiji, that fine, I'll just draw a line there and I'll start writing. He's like, okay, fine, do that. In the 4th week, after 1 month, this complete section is full. By the way, we heard people by words. And the way, like physical bashing was not even 10%. Gandhiji asked him, do you get the lesson? That we think violence is only by physical passion, physically hurting somebody. But violence is not by that. It's also by the words we speak. This is, see, we all think, right, that I have never raised my hand on anybody. I used to feel I'm a very good human being. Why? Because I have never raised my hand on anybody whatsoever in this world. Okay, be it my small niece or whoever it is, I can shout and scold them. I have never raised my hand. So I used to feel within myself, oh, I'm such a good person. I have never hurt anyone. If you tell me that you have hurt anyone, no, I have never touched my hand to anyone. I'm not a violent. But when I understood this concept, I realized I was so wrong. In the name of love and care, we all have hurted our close ones. See, we are very good to strangers. Right? It's our close ones that we hurt by words. I love my brother the most in my world. The most. Still, when we have a fight, when we have an argument, I choose to hurt him by words to show him that I have an upper hand. I know the points that will prick him the most. See, we all know that. Internally, we all know that this is the threshold of a person. If I say these words, it will sting him real bad. Sting him literally. It's not that we do not know this. We know it, but we still do it anyway. Why? Are you care for you so much? Hence I did it. I love for you. That's the reason I argued on that. In the name of always this love and care, we choose to hurt our near ones the most. So, we don't always hurt, but we never hurt usually by physical lashings. We hurt by words. Very important. Now, to understand this, the reason we have to understand this is, tomorrow there can be a day when somebody comes to you and tells you, you know, I didn't really follow through your class, or I didn't really understand the training you took, or I didn't understand the topic you were doing. Instead of getting defensive, that, oh, you know what, you were not there, or you know what, this is not for you, or this is fine, I did this because I had this emergency. Instead of being defensive, you can just take it empathetically, that maybe it wasn't your day. Maybe we can research deeper in the subject. Maybe something I need to go slow. Right? You need for this change to appear, you need to firstly receive the feedback. Yes? So, remember this, to receive empathetically the feedback. Now, empathy in itself is a huge word, right? I'm sure every one of you has a preconceived notion of the word empathy. certain perspectives. But I will tell you, just take it as a different flavor of empathy. I'm not here to say what is right, what is wrong. It's just a different flavor of it. And also to that research, these researchers concluded that the reason we are, we hurt people by words is because we have conveniently started accepting violent communication in languages. And like language has changed over time, right? And it's got violent over time. We have conveniently accepted it. That's the reason we have, UN, United Nations. Whenever there's a conflict between two nations, they conduct peace talks. All these people who conduct the peace talks, they are experts in this model. Non-violent communication. Because there are two conflicting nations at the end. So today we are going to start with empathy. But we will follow the same approach. First we will see what is not empathy. So whatever remains is empathy. Yes? Empathy is not agreeing or approving. What do I mean by this? See, this is again a very, very classic example. We all go to movies. Yes? We go with our groups. Okay? Now personally, I don't need a movie like Anand to make me cry. Even a movie like Hum Saath Saath Hai can make me cry buckets. After a while, my family looks at me and not the movie because that is how much I cry. Now, I've seen imagine I've just seen one of those movies and I've come out and I'm feeling that movie. Okay, I really, really like it. And somebody, like if you are in a part of a group and somebody from the group says, what a waste of time and technology this movie was. And you will notice, sometimes we immediately change our stance and we say, yeah, it was okay. When we say the entire group, see, that was such a boring movie. What happened? Why did we even come for this movie? Some people will immediately change their stance and say, yeah, it is a one-time watch only. Though internally you know that you like the movie, still you will change the stand. Now this is when you are the weaker part of the group. When you are the stronger part of the group, the story is, what? Are you guys human beings or cockroaches? Has God just sent you with data and paper inside your head? No human emotions? It was such a beautiful movie. I shouldn't have come with you only for the movie. I should have gone with a different group to watch the movie. What was this? You guys have no appreciation. You always keep cribbing. This is your reaction when you go for when you are the stronger part of the group. Right? Why is it necessary to influence somebody? Like, why do we need agreement or approval? You can hate the movie, I can like the movie. Full stop. Like, somebody asked me, which car do you like? I say Nano. And the moment they hear Nano, they're like, oh my god, you don't have any taste, you don't have this. And I said, that too, I like a yellow color Nano. Then it becomes all the whole. What is this? You have no class, you have no choice. You like a Nano? Really? This is the faces they make. Why? You can like a Honda City, I like a Nano. Second, empathy is not identification. Okay, now these SaaS Bahu Opras, they keep working, right? You know what psychological point of view they have? How do they work? How did they become such success? Now in that story, SaaS Bahu story, this Bahu is like, really bad. The SaaS says this Bahu is so bad. She's taken my son away from me. She doesn't even cook food. And you know what? She's just always like this. Never a part of our family. I don't know what's happening with. Why did my son even get married to this lady? In your mind, you are thinking your Bahu is like that. You are not thinking that this Bahu is like that. The serial Bahu is like that. In your mind, you are identifying it with your own life. That my Bahu is also who's going to come, is going to be like this only. See, so many times we say, somebody came and said that, her brother met with an accident and he was in such a bad state, blood was pouring and this rib cage got broken and everything. At the same time, I am crying, not thinking her brother met with an accident. I am thinking my brother met with an accident. And I am empathizing, thinking like, oh, my brother and I am having tears and tears and tears. I am not connecting to her. I am just having my own identification of my brother. Somebody's father expires. I cry because I am thinking about my own identification. My own father. This identification is not empathizing. Empathy is not one-upping. This is everyone would have experienced this, okay? Once this friend of mine, she got a fracture. I was just getting her home. In her building, she sees one uncle. She had a fracture on the left hand. The uncle, the moment he sees her, what are you crying? What fracture? I had 4 fractures and I was even not crying. We have all seen people like this. Oh, 2 crore loan. I had 7 crore loan for the last 5 years. Still I'm so good. Wait till you hear my story. Right? You got these 4 inches, 4 stitches. I had 12 stitches and my head was broken apart. Still I wasn't like that. It's like, see the irony. Even in misery, they want to do one-upping. Like, even in misery, I am better than you. It is so funny, right? Like, instead of empathizing with the person, you are giving him stories. Oh, you failed once, I failed 4 times in that. Why are you crying? Even in misery, we get to a point where we want to do, wait till you hear my story. We want to do one-upping. That is not empathy. Empathy is not advising. See, advising has its own place, has its own time. For example, okay, David, please come. Okay, imagine I am in a gutter, okay? You can't touch me, you have to pull me out. So you can motivate me to do whatever, but you can't touch me. Snake! Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm not able to come out. I can't touch that. Yeah, you can't touch me, that's the rule. Yeah. Push your palms up. I'm trying, not happening. I'm just getting deeper in the gutter. Yeah, still not touching. Not happening, trying. Okay, now you can touch me. Okay, thank you. So, okay, what was the difference in the situations? You asked for help.
No, advice doesn't
See, in the first case, she was advising me, but I wasn't in connect. The connect was the biggest difference. When you connect with a person and advise, you can walk that person out of that situation. But if you keep advising, it will not help because I am not even receptive to your advice. See, That stupid hair, colored hair guy, he has the neck. That's the reason he is listening. See, advising is extremely important, but it is at the right time, not immediately. Not at all immediately. They say, right, next time somebody asks you for advice, say them to pay you 500 rupees. If they pay you, that's the time they are receptive for advice. Otherwise, they will never give free advices. Always ask, well, okay, give me 500, then I'll give you advice. That's the time they will value that. That's the time they will receive it. If you immediately, it's like, what's the difference between us and machines then? Press 1, this is, you say your story and you have pressed 2, you have a coffee out. Right? Each time I come and tell you that okay, this happened to me, I've pressed the button, you will give me advices. Right? We are behaving increasingly like machines. Press 1, this outcome. Press 2, this outcome. Advice is very important, but not immediately. It has its own place. Empathy is not consoling. It was not your fault, you did the best you could. See, consoling is something which operates at a different level. A few months ago, my uncle went to a medical doctor and he was very serious, and the doctor said that he may not be able to come out of it, he may not survive. And I used to be in the hospital. I'm extremely close to my uncle, extremely close. And I'm like the only daughter amongst a lot of kids. So, I'm like a second generation head, like I'm elder in that. Now, every time these relatives come, and every time these relatives would come and start telling me, oh, you're a big girl now, you can handle it. Oh, soon you have to handle so many people around you. You will have to take care of it. Come on, you have to grow up. You can't be behaving like this. I literally started hating that time. See, when my uncle is in ICU, the last words I seek from you is not even this. That you coming and telling me that you have to handle so many people. Right? I don't want to be in a situation to even listen to those words that you're telling me. I don't want to listen. I'm in so much pain that that's the last thing I want to listen to. Right? After a period of time, I started getting anxiety attacks the moment I used to see my relatives. Because I knew they are going to have a typical way of consoling. That this is all fine, you have to do this. No. When you're going to see someone, the least you expect is, I would say it's better you don't say anything. Then to tell me that no, now you have to manage things and you have to pick up, no, that's not what I'm seeking. Consoling is like, oh, it's okay, we will do better next time. No, I'm feeling the pain of losing the race. You can't tell me at that point. You think I will be listening to you? Not at all. Nobody listens. Empathy is not educated. Now, again, education has its own place. Just because some person has gone through a job loss or something like that, you say, oh, this will be the game changer of your life. I'm going to educate you to turn it into the most positive experience of your life. No, it doesn't happen. Education again has its own place. When I'm feeling something, and if you are educating me, it's just like throwing on me things, I'm not even receiving it. Now you must be thinking, this is not empathy. This is not empathy. What is it that is actually empathy? Empathy is not storytelling. Okay. This is again classic. We all see people like this. Quick example. I will say, oh, Kunal, I went to Even I lost my job. Then I was in depression. Then I did meditation. Then I went ahead and did this classes. And then you know what? You should also try the same. You will also go through it. And you will come out of it. Correct? We all have this real life. These are the real life examples. We all have experienced it. Empathy is not storytelling. It's not about you. It's about that person. Empathy is not shutting down. Look at the face of the baby. Yeah? Empathy is not shutting down. See, a lot of times, what happens is, when we as human beings do not have the capability to handle human emotions, we go the other way. For example, you've just failed an exam. You're coming here and sitting. And the moment you tell me, you know, Ami, I failed an exam. And the next thing, you all do this. Oh, chill, let's go for a movie, we'll do some party, it will be okay. Right? We all have done that. We hear, oh, you lost a job. No problem. We'll just go to this music concert and you know what? You'll feel better. See, understand one. I'm feeling pain and I'm sharing it with you. I have all the liberty as a human being to feel my pain. If you don't have the capability to understand and handle me in pain, you might as well walk out. As in, see, it's very clear, right? Nobody in this world cries forever. Even a person who's lost somebody, he or she also knows they cannot cry forever. Some people require a lot of time to move on. Some move on in a very short span of time. Doesn't mean who requires a longer time, doesn't mean that you tell them, oh, it's been so many years, cheer up, you know, let's go for a party, let's do this. No. Why are you shutting that person down when you don't have that capability to understand their emotion? See, there are few people, you know, who can't see other people crying. We all know such people who can't see other people crying. What they do is simply walk out of the room. The moment a person starts crying, they are better. They are better. Then, telling you to cheer. Even the beggar on the street who doesn't know where he will get his food from the other day cannot keep crying all the time. Every human being understands that he has to stop after a while. They do. It's just that we expect them to stop at our time. Oh, today I came, let's go for a movie, let's do this. No, why? He's feeling pain. He has the right to feel that pain. You have to understand. Empathy is not shutting down a person. Empathy is not sympathizing. One of the things that we feel is so closely connected. We always feel sympathy and empathy are so close words. See, sympathy operates from different psychological angles. Completely different. Now you all will go back with, you know, there will be a signal and these beggars come to your car for asking for money. And what do? You will just pick out some children and give it to them. And the moment you do that, you feel very happy that I at least helped someone. Deep down, thanking God and thank God I am not in that position. You hear, we see differently able people, right? And we feel immediately what? Deep down, if you go to remove your surface level feelings, you feel, oh, thank God, God has made me like this. You know, somebody's neighbor's daughter eloped. You go and say, oh, I understand. I understand. In the heart, what are you feeling? Thank God, my daughter did not enroll. This is the operation of sympathy. It's like in heart you are grateful, God, I'm not that beggar. Sympathy is not empathy. Empathy is not interrogation. See, a friend of mine recently got divorced.